Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have the Simon Says Stamp March 2019 card kit called Lucky Rainbow. And as of filming, this kit is still available, so I will have that link down below. Let's go ahead and take a look at what comes inside this kit. It is filled with goodies. As always, we have candy. Gotta have candy when you're crafting, right? It also comes with this adorable Woolly Lucky 3x4 stamp set. That is so cute. It comes with the hybrid mini ink cube in the color Lucky. It also has this bag of button galore and more Lucky Charms embellishments. It comes with 3 envelopes, one in the color metallic gold and 2 white envelopes. Those are by Simon Says Stamp. It also has 12 single-sided sheets of Lawn Fawn's Really Rainbow Scallops. These are 6x6, and it comes with a light and a dark color of each of those, and it also has one rainbow in the front. These are really pretty. It also has the Simon Says Stamp 6x8 stamp set called Amazing with some fantastic sentiments and then those beautiful circle stamps. So I've seen a lot of great things done with that. It also comes with the Doodle Bug, lots of luck icons, cardstock stickers, and there are a lot of stickers here. You could make a bunch of cards just using these stickers alone. We have an idea sheet, and then we also have one sheet of Nina's Solar White cardstock, and then we have Simon Says Stamp cardstocks in the color Doll Pink, Blue Violet, Orange Peel, Sunshine, and Green Apple. So this video is going to have 5 cards and 2 bonuses. So let's go ahead and get started on that first card. We're going to start off by trimming down some of that pattern paper. I chose the darkest of each of the colors. And I am just trimming down about 3/4 of an inch. I end up trimming that down in half even more, so it's not going to be as thick. And I won't show you that, but I'm just trimming down each of those colors because I plan to do a little rainbow on the card. And I'm even going to use the light blue as my base background. So I have that trimmed down, and then I'm going to just start deciding how I want to put the placement on there for the rainbow. And, excuse me. I thought it would go down a little bit further, but with that paper only being 6x6, you can only take it down so far without having to line your paper up and double it up, if that makes any sense. So I went ahead and started with the purple, and I am making sure that it goes all the way across from the one diagonal corner to the other, making sure that I don't have any gaps. And I'm just using liquid glue to apply these. And I end up thinking the easier way would probably be, after I get the green one down, to just slap some glue all over where I want them. So I do end up just putting the glue down all over the top part there. And my glue bottle's just about out, so I've been using that glue bottle for forever. It's the Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue, and I love that glue. It works great. It doesn't spit out a ton, and it sticks really well, and it doesn't warp my paper if you don't use a lot, so that's why I like it. And then I'll trim down just the one edge because I did plan to use a stitched rectangle die. This one is from My Favorite Things. It's the Blueprints 24, but they don't make that anymore, so I will have an alternate down below. It's just the stitched rectangle stacks dies. And I'll tape that down, making sure that it's mostly in that corner, run that through my Big Shot machine, and then I'm going to stick that inside of my Mini Misty so that I can stamp my sentiment down. And I want to make sure this is good and dark black, so I do use the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I only need to stamp it once, and it's good. So I'll pull that out, and I'll start working on my card base. I have a card base that I have trimmed down to 4¼ by 11 inches, and that I am scoring at 5½ inches to make a top folding A2 size card. Someone asked me the other day why I do top folding A2 size cards, always. And I guess it's just personal preference. You could easily do side ones with most of the cards that I make. It's just, that's what I prefer to make, I guess. I've stuck all those little sequins and things that came in the kit into just a little dish that I had gotten at the dollar section of Target, and I am making sure that I have my panel attached to my card base so that I can start attaching some of the jewels. And I'm just doing that with some more of that liquid glue along with my crystal katana. And the crystal katana, as I've said a zillion times before, it's, you know, it's a little bit of an investment, but I love mine. That thing, it works like a charm. I love it. So don't plan on getting any other jewel pickers or anything like that. Although I know that, I mean, according to a lot of people out there, they work really well too. This is just what I have, and I love it. And so then I am going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. And I just rub that on my hand to make sure that I kind of conditioned it a little bit. The oils on your hand can condition a stamp if it's never been used before. So I stamp that on the inside. And that's going to finish off this card. Love that paper. So pretty. Card number 2 may be my favorite. I don't really send out St. Patrick's Day cards really, but there's something about this little llama. I just can't help it. He's adorable. So I have put him into my mini Misty, and I have a scrap of some Express It cardstock, and I am stamping him down with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I plan to do some Copic coloring. I'm not going to show you the Copic coloring, but I'll talk about it a little bit, and I will have all the colors listed down below. So that's what he looks like. I basically made him doing a stippling so that his woolly fur would look woolly. And so, like I said, I'll have those colors listed down below. And if you have any questions, go ahead and you can ask those, leave those down below. So I'm going to take the stickers, just the shamrock stickers, and a few of the hearts, and I am going to put those on the background. I just couldn't resist using the little shamrocks, especially since there were some that had different patterns and they were different colors, and it just went so well with this adorable little llama that I did fussy cut out. And I did this in a diagonal pattern so that your eyes would kind of go from top to bottom, from left to right. And you'll see I do make a screw up later, not for a little bit. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even notice the screw up until I was absolutely done filming. So I'm going to take some of the gold hearts as well that are in this sticker pack, these little doodlebug stickers, and I'll put about 3 of those on there. And they are my mistake. They look fine now, but you'll see later. Next, I'm going to take my embossing bag with one of those stickers, and I'm going to take away the sticky with that. So your embossing bag, or whatever you use to make sure that you don't have a lot of static cling, will work well for taking away the sticky on stickers. And so then you can pop them up on foam tape or whatever else you may want to do. I'm taking a scrap of some black cardstock along with a sentiment from the 6x8 set that came in this kit, and I'm going to stamp that down at the bottom. And then I'm going to cover that with some white embossing powder. And then I will heat that with my heat tool until that is smooth and melted. I'm so glad we're friends. I love that sentiment. And here you could possibly see where I have potentially screwed up. My panel is upside down. And I don't notice it. So I'm just going to stamp some of the little shamrocks that came in this little woolly set. Woolly Lucky. And I'm stamping that using the hybrid ink that came in the kit, the Lucky hybrid ink. And I'm going to go ahead and glue down my panel onto my card base, which is some of that cardstock that came in the kit. Don't worry, I can fix the hearts. Again, I still am not seeing it, but I will fix it later. Those stickers are great. They stick, but if you do need to change things, you're not going to tear your paper. So I do like that about these Doodlebug stickers. It's not like once it's down, that's it. So I'll take off the backing paper on the foam tape for each of my elements. I've tacked down my sentiment, I'm tacking down my little llama, and I'll tack down the Lucky sentiment. And then I will put those on the card. But we aren't going to stop there. I'm going to use some of those little beads that come in the kit. And I'm going to put those down using the same liquid glue. And here I'm just putting liquid glue where I think I want the beads. No real rhyme or reason to it, just filling in some of those gaps. And I'm just grabbing some of those little tiny beads and I'm putting those on those pops of the liquid glue using my crystal katana. A couple of the spots needed a little bit more glue. But I love this crystal katana because it picks up even the smallest of things. And even the biggest of things too. So it works out pretty well. And even here, I don't quite realize that it's... But you'll see in the picture, I do fix my hearts. I was and you can see this is an easy mailer as well. So there you go. See, they're fixed. The hearts are where they should be and they're upright. Card number 3 is going to be a very simple but colorful card. I have a bunch of Distress Oxide inks in various colors, and I'm going to use the different circle elements that are in this stamp set, the 6x8 stamp set, called Amazing. And I'm going to just randomly stamp those all over that cardstock, which is just some of the Nina Solar cardstock that came in the kit. And I'm starting with like the pink, and I'm working my way down all the way to the blue so that I have a rainbow effect starting from top all the way down to the bottom. And like I said, I'm just going to grab various stamps from this stamp set, and I'm going to stamp those down that cardstock, and I'm just going to keep filling it in. The different colors that I've chosen are, and these are all Distress Oxide inks. I've chosen Worn Lipstick. My orange is a Ripe Persimmon. Then my yellow is a Mustard Seed. My green is Twisted Citron, and my blue is Peacock Feathers. And I'm just cleaning off the stamps in between and stamping them down in each color. And I'm just working my way all the way down. I don't care that they are overlapping. In fact, I want them to overlap, because I think that adds a lot of interest to this type of card. I'm not usually drawn to stamp sets like this. I'll just be honest with you. Typically, I would look at this and go, what am I going to do with those circles? I would love the sentiments, and I do love the sentiments, but the different circle elements that are in this stamp set, I probably wouldn't necessarily be drawn to, because I like to color images in, and I don't like a lot of guesswork. Sometimes I feel like with limited time, my creativity isn't always what it probably could be. So in this instance, I'm not sure why I chose to do this, but I ended up, and I wasn't even sure how it would end up looking, because I wasn't sure how the stamped images would look overlapping each other. But in the end, I end up really loving what I come up with. And I just keep filling it in using the various circle elements. I don't use all the circle elements that are in this stamp set, but I do use quite a few of them. And like I said, I just stamp them down in the pink, clean them off, and work my way down all the way to the blue for each stamp. And so now I've decided I want to do a little bit of embossing on it for my sentiment, and so I'm making sure that that ink is dry. I did heat set it in between, I just didn't show you, and the powder didn't stick, so I think we're in good shape. So I'm going to stick this inside my mini MISTI. I'm going to use my embossing buddy over the top of it, which I already did. And then I'm going to pick up my stamp set, or my stamp, and I'm going to ink that up with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I'll stamp that out a couple times, and then I will cover that with the clear embossing powder. And then I'm going to heat that until it's smooth and melted. This is such a fun, colorful card. My card base is just the orange that came in the kit, and I tacked that down with some tacky glue. And now I am using those buttons and galore elements that came in the kit, and I'm just tacking those down with my Crystal Katana and my liquid glue, using the stars and some of the gems. And that will finish off card number 3. Card number 4 is super easy. So I'm taking a stitched rectangle die, and I'm going to run that over some of the green pattern paper that came in the kit. And I'll take another piece of that green cardstock, and I will just fold that in half or score it at 5.5 inches to make it, this is actually going to be a side folding A2 size card. And I'm going to take nothing but stickers. I'm not going to stamp anything on this. So I'm taking the little girl and one of the little guys, and I'm just putting them by each other. And then I'm going to take the sentiment, the St. Patrick's Day, and I plan to pop it up on foam tape. And like I did before, I'll just use my embossing bag over the top of that, or over the back of that, to take the sticky away so that I can just cut down some foam tape and stick that on the back. This is so fast and easy. And I actually have 2 bonus cards at the end here that you will see that I just made using all the stickers, or just totally stickers, and they were fun. So then I pop up the St. Patrick's Day, and then a few of the gold hearts, and this will end up finishing off the front of my card. So easy. And it's really cute. You could have popped up any of those elements, the little people as well. So then I will glue my panel to my card base using the liquid glue that I've been using. And then I'll grab a couple elements for the inside. I'll grab the little fiddler guy, And I'll stick him down on the inside. And I'm going to take one of my paper piercers and poke out. It had picked up one of the little elements that, you know, is supposed to be in between his arm. And I think that's one of the things I really like about these Doodlebug stickers. I have never owned them before, but I think I may end up buying them again because I really like the attention to detail that they have for each of the stickers. And there you go. That's card number 4. So quick and easy. Card number 5 utilizes the big 6x8 stamp set that comes in the kit called Amazing. I have a couple panels of white cardstock, and this first one's going to be my card panel that I use that I'm going to put everything on, basically. I'm also going to be using various ink cubes from Simon Says Stamp that came in other kits, and these are all hybrid inks as well. This first one is Spring Rain, and I'm just using the solid circles that came in the stamp set, and I'm stamping this off to the left-hand side. I am trying to, I don't know, just build up a base there on the side. And I'm using all 3 of the solid circle images. I start out by stamping only 3 of the bigger 2, and then that final one I kind of went a little crazy and just stamped it all over the place just to fill in gaps. And I think that ends up looking pretty fun. So while I'm at it, I have this other piece of white cardstock, and I'm stamping in the color Lucky, and these are going to be leaves in my opinion. I'm going abstract here. I'm also using the colors Hollyhock, Wisteria, and Melon, and I am stamping out the other circle elements, and these are going to be my flowers. So I'm stamping them all onto this cardstock, basically just filling it up, and I'm going to cut those out later. I'll even stamp out 3 of the solid circles, all 3 of them, in the different colors as well, because I'm going to stack those on top of my flowers as well. I kind of like the idea of abstract circular flowers. It's kind of fun. And so I'll grab that wisteria one more time and stamp out that. I guess I didn't use the solid circle. It was a little too big. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment while I have all my stamping supplies out. I'm using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp my big sentiment on that panel, and then on the inside I'm going to stamp one of the smaller sentiments using that same VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And now I'm going to get ready to assemble everything. I have put some foam tape on a few of the flower images, and I'm putting liquid glue on my panel to adhere to my card base. And that card base is actually a 4" by 5.5", so it's not showing any edges on the top. Using liquid glue for one of the flowers, and then I'm going to use some foam tape for these other 2 flowers. And also their little centers are going to have, so some of these flowers will be popped up. There's going to be like 2 levels of dimension, but it's still a very easy mailer because that dimension isn't that deep, so it's good. And then I'm going to use some of the liquid glue to adhere all of my abstract leaves. And so I've made my own little floral bouquet. And it was kind of fun using all those little ink cubes that I've acquired over the time of getting the different Simon Says Stamp kits. So very fun. Like I said before, this isn't a stamp set that I probably would have been drawn to, but I like being pulled out of my comfort zone from time to time. It stretches your creativity. I'm just putting some little dots of glue all over my card in sets of 3 basically, because, you know, rule of 3 here in crafting. It's more appealing to the eye. And I'm just grabbing the little beads with my crystal katana. I'm going to put those on those little spots of glue. And originally I only put it in 2 spots, put the beads in 2 spots, but I ended up thinking, you know what, I'm going to put it on a 3rd spot as well for a little more interest, because those beads are so fun. I never would have thought to put beads on my card either, because this isn't necessarily like a bead kit that I, you know, or bead set that I would have purchased, but I really like how fun those are. I'll have to use those some more. And that will finish off card number 5. So we're going to show you some bonus cards. I'll talk a little bit about how I made them, but once again, they're very simple because they're just the stickers. For my first bonus card, I cut down some pattern paper from the kit and then folded it back and adhered that with foam tape. The rainbow and cloud were adhered directly to the pattern paper, and so were the shamrocks. The little leprechaun was popped up with foam tape. I stamped the sentiment and I popped that up on foam tape as well, and I finished this card off by adhering some beads and adding gold faux stitching with my clear Stardust Jelly Roll pen. This second bonus card was made in the same sort of style as the first. The rainbows were adhered directly to some pattern paper from the kit. I then popped up all of the clouds and the unicorn using foam tape. I stamped the sentiment and adhered that with some liquid glue. I finished this card off with gold sticker hearts and some gold faux stitching using my gold gel pen. Now let's go ahead and take a look at all of the cards that I made today. I really had so much fun creating with this kit with all the bright colors that are in it, and just, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. So I would love to know which one of these cards was your favorite, if you had a favorite. And if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I always appreciate your guys' comments and love and support that you give. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by.